Welcome to another weekend episode in Talk with Sanjana. Well, if you think being fair or being dark, being fat or thin, these are the words that defines your beauty, then you might have to look things from different perspective. Today, guys, I have here Akshaya Navaneedan, who has broken the societal norm and believes if one can be happy, it's only when he or she thinks that he is confident or she is confident about herself and about her body. So let me introduce you, Akshaya. Hi, Akshaya. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Sanjana. I feel very happy to be a part of this, and I love the way you gave this introduction about me.
Thank you so much, Akshaya. It's a great pleasure that you did accept this invite, and here we are, going forward to make this wonderful conversation. There is so much to talk about, but before everything, let's quickly get started with some of the important concepts that we are going to cover here. So, viewers, just to give you a quick brief, we are going to talk in terms of body positivity, what is plus size modeling, and how to be a plus size model, and what are the obstacles that definitely comes our way. Right. So, Akshaya, before we get started, I would like to know, firstly, during this time, during this crisis, how are you trying to manage your, modeling or your work? Or I see that you do webinars. So, how are you making best use of this time?
Actually, my industry, I work in 5 different industries, and all the industries are something that you don't sit at home and work. It's all like teaching or anchoring or doing a show or modeling or anything. Everything needs your presence right there. You can't do it visually. But then this quarantine has actually made me realize that there are a lot of people that I can sit back and help them. I do mainly free webinars on how to become a plus size model. I do motivation and confidence and all. Apart from that, I'm also training a lot of college students on soft skills and everything that tie up with the colleges. So one or two professions are like good for us to go via visual, but then I think modeling or photo shoots is something that I really miss so much, or getting ready like this. So that's the main thing
You
that I
do
miss.
that
But
only
then
when it's
quarantine,
webinar, right? You might have to get ready only.
yes, when it is webinar, and since you said we need to do this today, so I thought, okay, let me just get ready, let me try to wear some makeup and all. It actually gives a very good feel of you being at home and the entire world is right in front of you, and this is how it's going to work for another couple of months. So I think people have to get used to it, and I also got used to this. And the economy is going down badly, but we all need to save the money and not spend money more than your necessities. I think that's the biggest thing that this life is teaching us. And the biggest lesson that we all learned is we need to save a lot of money at the end of this thing.
Absolutely. And this is the new normal that we need to accept, and I think we need to get adjusted
Yes.
to on, right? Great. Okay. So now, talking about yourself, could you please take us through your childhood or any prominent memory, or is there any such incident that actually changed your life and from where you wanted to look things from a different perspective and it did uphold your confidence level as well?
When I was small, if you ask my childhood days, when I was small, I was bullied, and I was not given an opportunity to be a part of a dance group or the basic cultural activity that happens in school. So that's when I felt bad, but then I understood that since I was this kid who doesn't study that well, I was just the passing and 50s 60s kids. So I thought it's only for those people who study well. And my school has always been very particular about telling that fairies are supposed to be white, and it's not for people who are on the heavier side, and they need to be tall, and all sort of things that was happening up. But when we are small, we don't know. But when we start growing up, when we enter into ninth standard, 10th, 11th, 12th, is when we realize that there are a lot of teachers who have actually body shamed us when we were small. And I always had one of my Hindi teacher who always keeps asking me, why are you so fat? I can never forget that. Being a woman, she would understand as to why I was fat. But then those were the things that disturbed me completely. I completed my schooling, and there was this 2 years I had a big break because I failed in my 12th max in the boards. And that was a very difficult time for me, and I was shattered into pieces because I was not good in studies, and I was not a very good looking girl. That was what the society has told us, that a woman needs to be looking good. or a woman
certain
should
way.
look good. Yeah, in a way, or they need to, be smart and well educated. These were the two things that was set for a woman, and I was very much worried. And that's when I decided that, okay, if I'm not going to pass my 12th again, or if I'm going to have a couple of more attempts later on, I'm not going to give up on that. Let it even be 100, 200, or even when I'm 60, I'm ready to start writing my attempts. But the one thing I was very particular is, okay, let me keep this aside. There would be something in me. A lot of people used to tell me that I'm very talkative. Women shouldn't talk much, and all sort of stereotypes that was, shoved into my head. And I stopped talking in my 12th standard, and I decided that, okay, there's something that's negative in us. We need to change it to, the positive side, and we need to tell people that, see, you've pinpointed me for this, but I've changed that into something that's helping me live my life right now.
So with that, do you think that in such situation, ignorance is a bliss? Do you think it's really important to ignore certain things and just don't get too serious about, because there are so many people that could say hundreds of things, right? And you can't keep
Mm.
going and asking each and everyone, why did you say that? Or can't give a justification. No, it's not that, it's this, or any of that. So do you think in such, in especially in body being, body shame, do you think ignorance is something that can help you through?
Actually, I tried a lot. I really tried a lot to ignore all these comments at that stage. And that's the time where we are coming out of our shell, we are entering into teen. And
Right.
uh, no matter how hard we be like, okay, I'm not bothered, it will start bothering us. And I think down the lane, when you get used to it and when it hurts you more, that's when you become strong. Because one point of time, practically, your situation makes you understand things, and that's when you really understand the meaning of ignorance is bliss, and you start ignoring them. For sure, once you go through a phase where you give too much of importance for people that are putting you down, but I think when you give importance is when you actually become strong and come out of it, and then you are like, I'm not bothered about who says anything. So I think it's 50-50. I would say you should give importance at times, because that molds you to a better person. Because there were so many people who used to reject me because I started my career as an anchor. Some of my clients used to be like, I want an anchor who's on the skinnier side and all, and that really shattered me so much. But later on, when I used to sit, analyze, and feel bad about it, or I used to sit and cry for hours together. But that's when I understood that I see a lot of women out there in this world who are, trying so hard to keep up themselves, grooming themselves, and bringing the best out of themselves and accepting themselves. That's when I decided that I'm not going to sit and blame here. If people are going to choose me, they have to choose me for my talent and not for my looks. How long can looks matter in this industry? That's when I understood that even if I'm going to have like 20 to 30 clients who are going to be regular, I made sure that they don't see me first, but instead they see my talent. If, for example, a lot of people say I'm so short and I don't want people to notice me short, being short, you have to put certain things in front of them so that they don't notice that you're short. It was an example. So that's when I understood that if I groom myself well, and if I communicate well, and if I improve my communication skills, that's when I actually changed and started getting a lot of opportunities. And the very important thing that I learned is that if I'm very confident about myself, no one's going to come forward and look at you in a way where you would feel uncomfortable about your own self. They'll accept you because your confidence and your energy is what that actually bombards them, and that hides the flaws that you feel that's going to be noticed by someone else. So I really believe in that energy.
Right. I mean, that's a really good point that you made. Rather than discouraging, being discouraged, it's so important to know where things can be, we can groom ourselves, or if there are certain areas where we can act better or perform better, we need to probably work towards that, right? But I think
Yes.
rather than before concluding this topic, I would also like to make another point. It's equally important. I mean, grooming is one part, but it's equally important to have the level, the self confidence in ourselves to do something in first place, to accept that
Perfect.
there is certain areas where I'm not good at, I might need to work on, and there's certain areas where I may not be able to make any changes, but still I need to show myself as a confident person, right?
That's true.
Great. Okay, so this brings to a question towards modeling industry that you're
Mm.
already into. Um, how did you make this decision to, move towards modeling and being especially in India, and I would say in southern part of India, you are from Chennai. So from there, you have taken a very big shift, and you have did a lot of portfolios in Bombay and different other places. So when you had to make this journey, I'm sure there could have been a lot of hurdles, right? But you may not have been known in the beginning. But when you made this decision to be a model, what was the first thing that came to your mind, and how did you take this big decision, and how supportive were your parents at that point in time?
uh, there were a lot of people who used to tell me in a way that Akshay, you need to reduce weight because you look more beautiful and everything. And that's when I understood that, those people are not telling me in a genuine way. Whereas when my mom or dad tells me, I know that they are asking me to reduce weight so that I become healthy. And a lot of people have this stereotype that's stuck in their mind that if someone's skinny, they're very healthy, and someone who's on the heavier side are people who have a lot of health issues. Well, that's not the main thing. Indian hereditary, Indian genetics is women being on the heavier side, women who are curvy. If you really take people before us, our great grandparents and everybody. So in that case, I saw a lot of people doing this to me, and I also struggled a lot in reducing my weight, but I had some health issues and all. And that's when what I decided is, first let me start being healthy before I could reduce weight to look good. I need to be healthy. And that's when I had one of my friend, and that's when I started looking up all these plus size models on New York Fashion Week and everything. And I decided that I need to tell people that I'm right here, and I accept myself, and I'm going to bring the best version of myself out, because I see a lot of people who really, get shattered when they even get a hatred comment like, you're so fat. And I know that kills them, because it has also killed me, but that has also equally made me strong. That's when I decided this. But when I started the journey, my parents weren't supportive about this, because I'm coming from a very conservative family, and they actually didn't know what was modeling, what is fashion, and how this is going to work for our daughter. So down the lane, I started my career slowly, and I did only traditional and ethnic clothes and everything. And that's when things went pretty good. And my parents slowly started accepting that this is what I'm going to do. But
But
at the same
but
time,
how did you?
they were like 50-50.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So you said that you started with traditional modeling, right? But how did you get your first break, and how did you started to explore yourself in this industry? Was there anyone guiding you all this while, or it was all of individual exposure that you tried to explore on your own?
I had no one to guide me, so it was all my interest, and I did a lot of research, and I was exploring a lot of things on the internet. And my first breakthrough was when I went bald. I did a photo shoot where I wanted to support a lot of people out there, and I wanted to make a very strong statement that a woman's beauty or a woman is not just described by the way her hair is, or it's not like women means a person with a long hair, or women describes somebody having a lot of hair on their head. This is something that I wanted to break through this, and that was my biggest breakthrough, because my photos all over India and all the top websites and everything, and that was my biggest breakthrough, I would say that. And followed by that, I wanted to be a part of Lakme Fashion Week India, where they did auditions for plus size model, tied up with a brand called as All. It
Mhm.
was happening in Mumbai, but the auditions were in Delhi. I participated after 3 years because I couldn't afford the flight charges, and for me to go and travel there, stay there. So I'm coming from a conservative family, and we are not that much rich. So I had to sit, earn, save, and then take my journey over there. I took my journey and I got selected, and that's when I came to know that I was the first South Indian plus size model to walk Lakme Fashion Week India. I was very happy to be a part of it, but at the same time, I felt sad that why aren't women from the South not taking an initiative to come forward for such events as such? I know there are a lot of people thinking that modeling is something where glamour industry plays a very big role, but it's not like that for plus size. I personally feel it's about your choice, and it's about how you choose with what are the brands you're going to tie up, or what are the brands that you're going to work for. So I I felt bad, and that's when I understood, and I wanted to tell all the South Indian women to come forward and be a part of this amazing event, I should say, because Lakme is a very big brand, and they're giving us opportunities to come forward and walk the ramp for a top designer tied up with the brand. All is something big. So that is also my biggest breakthrough in 2019.
Right. So do you see today in southern part of India, more women coming forward? Do you see that?
It's been a year since I've walked the Lakme, and there are a lot of women who really want to come out of their shell, because I have a lot of people who attend my webinar on how to become plus size model and all. I don't think the problem is the women. I think the problem is also with the society, because there are a lot of designers and brands that should come up in South, and that should bring a lot of plus size women out there, like real people, real garments, so that they get a lot of audiences, as well as at the same time it's one among us who's there, and it is easier for them to market also. And at the same time, when some ads or movies or something puts up in South saying that it's okay to be plus size but love yourself, that's when everyone will start believing it blindly, like how 10 to 15 years back the zero size wasn't trending and still it's going on. I think something like that should change the thought and people's decision on this whole thing called as plus
Plus
size.
size. I think
Yes.
when you hear about plus size, it again puts society into a bucket. They bucket them. I think that is something that
Mhm.
should be stopped. It's not something a different
Yes.
category or different set of people. It's something which when we look at models, it's nothing but the same, right?
Yeah. A lot of people used to say this, like, why are we named as plus size model? Why
I mean,
can't we just be
that's what I wanted
called
to
as
see.
model? Yeah, even I've thought about it for a long time, but then people are still not able to accept us, though they use us for their brands and everything. But they give us a name. I don't know whether to take it in a positive way or how, but they give us a name so that we are different. But I feel it
Right.
is the biggest identity for us, and it's okay, because see, you have a lot of people trying to put you down, trying to rock. It doesn't mean that if they're going to call you plus size model, that's going to hurt you. No, I'm happy and I love it. And it is okay if they're going to call me plus size model, or a chubby model, or a healthy model. At the end of the day, I'm a model and you get to see me. What else do I need?
Right.
And that shows how confident I am. I think hats off to all the bloggers and everybody for coming out, spreading this awareness, and still, there's this taboo going about the plus size calling part. But then apart from that, I feel it's okay, because people and the brands and the society are changing. I think we'll have a better society in the future. I hope so.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay, so there's another question that adds up here.
Okay.
If it's a very, I would like you to answer in a very, I would say, like maybe as a pointer, for a person
Okay.
who wants to be a model and who is on a heavier side. What do you think the first few steps that he or she needs to follow?
The first step, when you say a model is a person who's confident, no matter what her position, no matter whatever, I mean, whatever situation, or no matter whatever garment you give her or any place that you put her into, she should be confident and she should be a model to sell the product out. So you need to be very confident. Second of all, you need to build a very strong platform for yourself in Instagram. That doesn't mean that you need to hire a lot of people and spend more on yourself, but take neat pictures and try to connect with people, interact with them, do a basic concept, try to do something that's completely different, or start writing your own blogs, because that is the most important thing that a lot of brands notices, because nowadays the opportunities are coming for us directly from the brand when they approach us on Instagram. So Instagram has become like the real social media CV for us, for people to know what we do and what's happening. So those are the basic things anybody should do to come out and start their career as a model.
Great, great. Okay, so Akshaya, I mean, we have had such a wonderful conversation from how to build confidence and how to face body shaming and how to tackle things when people try to demean us. right? And even within this short period of time, I think we tried to cover a lot of things over here over this conversation. And today I'm extremely happy because I was personally, I was looking for someone to talk on this subject. And that is when I came across your profile. And like you said, the first photo which did make me feel, talk to you was the picture where you wore that white gown and that head shave. That was such a beautiful picture.
Yes.
I mean, it's significant. It signifies elegance and being bold at the same time, being beautiful as well. So that is something from my end. I would like to say that you are extremely bold and a beautiful woman, and please continue to be the same and
Thank
try
you
to
so much.
inspire more and more people. And yes, talking about the part where you have clearly mentioned in South, people are not coming forward. Personally, let me say some of my experience as well. I've always looked at brands, okay, right from my college or schools. And this is a question which I always had: why people are not taking up plus size models, especially in South, whereas in North we do see people coming forward, and people, their women are, I see they are being much open and much bold towards accepting about their body. Whereas here, though they want to do it, maybe there is this societal norm that is stopping them from doing it. But I think there should be a platform where even from South, people should come forward. And maybe in future, if you are, taking this forward and doing something for more women, I think that would be a biggest breakthrough as well for most of the women in southern India as well, I would say. So overall, it was a great conversation. I really loved it. All the best for your future and for all the future project that you're going to do. And yeah, is there something that you would like to say from your end as well?
I have one thing to say to all the people right now. In this pandemic situation, we are losing a lot of hope, and things are getting bad in the country. But don't forget to, love yourself more, because this is the time that we need to really hold on to ourselves and, take a very big break and, calm down, and let us just sit down and say it's okay. We are going to pass through this situation, because time is the best medicine for any sort of things, right? So I think that is the only message that I wanted to say, and I'm very thankful to you, Sanjana, for having me in this a session with you. I feel very happy, and thank you so much once again for approaching me.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking some time, Akshaya. And just want to say, stay healthy, stay safe, and take care of your family and people around you as well.
Sure, thank you so much, Sanjana. See you soon.
Yes, yes, of course. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.